Vigo County school officials are shaking up the district after decades of shrinking enrollment and despair. While Terre Haute leaders say the changes are needed, Aubrey Wright reports there's concerns over the cost and effects on students.
Catherine Downard wants her kids to grow up in a rural school, just like she did. That's why she's sending her kids to Hoosier Prairie Elementary School.
The smaller the school, the more it feels like family. And when you have a family, you're more likely to have students that are successful.
This summer, she learned Hoosier Prairie and 3 other elementary schools would close as part of a plan to modernize Vigo County schools. So she launched her own petition to save it.
I was like, somebody needs to do something about it.
More than 1,000 people have signed that petition to keep Hoosier Prairie open. Downard says Vigo County schools do need to be modernized, but she's also afraid of her kids missing out on close connections in a larger student body.
Yes, I think that change needs to happen, but I don't think that closing down all of these rural schools is going to help.
But the gears are already in motion. Superintendent Chris Himsel says the district will close, repair, and consolidate schools over the next few years. He says this will even out class sizes, pool resources, and provide more extracurricular options.
So we're going to go from 15 elementary schools to 10 elementary schools, from 5 middle schools to 4, and from 3 high schools to 2.
Himsel says there are 3 problems to consider. The first is that Vigo County has lost thousands of students over the last 50 years. And the second is the district can't afford repairs, transportation, and utilities for 23 schools.
So basically what we end up with is we have $23 million of annual needs, and that's assuming all of our buildings are brought up to an acceptable level. And we only have $9 million in which to do that.
The third problem is that there aren't enough applicants or funding to sustain teachers, guidance counselors, and other staff.
If we were to apply the rates of inflation from 2010 to 2024, we're about $10 million behind where our funding would be if we did keep up with rates of inflation.
The work will begin with West Vigo High School. It will be renovated. Then a new high school will be built to replace North and South high schools. Ideally, the district will work on both new high schools at the same time.
How can we get the financing put together so we can put the shovel in the ground? Once we put the shovel in the ground, we're probably looking at 3 years out before we can move into the new high school, at which time we can then remodel the current high schools and get them ready for middle school spaces.
It's extensive because schools should be renovated before moving kids into them. He says it's like dominoes.
We're talking about a minimum of about 5 years before we can fully implement everything.
The district already lacks the funding it needs, so how will it pay for all these changes? The Vigo County government might be a solution.
From all different perspectives, we're just incredibly happy to be involved with the conversation.
Thanks to a change in Indiana law, the county could transfer funding to another tax-collecting agency, such as local schools. Vigo County is setting up a 5-member board by next year to do just that.
We'll really get into the finer details of what the funding looks like from the county's perspective to the school corporations.
Himsel and Schweitzer both know locals don't want their taxes raised. Residents voted against recent referendums, and Himsel says they're trying to work with what they have.
Of course, nobody likes additional taxation, which is why local government got involved to see if we could supplement some of the school's projects with already in place taxing capabilities.
A recent survey showed residents were concerned about the state of Vigo County schools and believed modernizing schools attracts families and businesses. Schweitzer says the plan probably won't make everybody happy, but he believes people are coming around to it.
It's not that I agree or disagree with all the changes as well, but something has to change.
The school board and county government are encouraging residents to reach out and ask questions. While she doesn't support eventually closing schools, Downard and Himsel do agree on one thing.
I want my kids to be able to connect to friends, and I want them to feel like they're at a school that cares about them in the future as well.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Aubrey Wright.
Vigo County school officials say they have not yet determined the total cost of the plan.